What's good? It's your boy Timeless Rock with TR Mentality, man. Before we get into the live, make sure y'all own y'all own shit, man. Look, it's been a little minute since we've been on this TR Mentality live. Everybody who's been following along, y'all know I've been going live on Twitch it's twitch.tv at Timeless Rock. And that's where I've been going live a lot. We've been playing 2K. We about to hop on Call of Duty. We about to hop on that right after this. And we're gonna do a whole lot of things. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow me up over there. And also just know that, hey man, I be on there every single day. But it feel good to be back here on YouTube, man. We about to go we're gonna talk about a few things. Like I said, the topic of this video is why you gotta respect the journey to success, man. Listen, as y'all come in here, make sure y'all go ahead and hit like on the live. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe if y'all ain't subscribed yet. Also, make sure y'all go ahead and comment down below. Let me know where y'all watching from. And also, we got a new feature, man. So if you tuning into the live, man, if y'all ever got some type of insight or y'all got some type of knowledge from these lives over here on YouTube at TR Mentality or from the videos, make sure y'all go ahead and give some super chat, super stickers, anything like that. Don't matter how much, just if you ever got any insight or anything, you want to support the stream, you want to support me as a creator, go ahead and do that. And also, if you're watching the replay, make sure you go ahead and give super thanks. You can do that as well, even if you ain't watched it live. So, hey, man, let's go ahead and get into the topic. Like I said, in this video, we're going to be talking about why you got to respect the journey to success. And the journey to success, man, it's one of them times where it's going to be a very stressful and it's going to be a wild journey. It's going to be a wild process. It's going to be a very emotional journey and process to where, sometimes you're gonna feel like you got it all figured out. You're gonna think that, yo, I got it all. I know exactly what I'm gonna do every step of the way, especially when you first starting off. And this is one of the biggest topics that I want to talk about. You can't expect to have all the steps figured out. You can't expect to have step 1 all the way up to 500 figured out and wrote down and knowing exactly what you're gonna do, and everything is gonna go in that exact order in your favor. And with that being said, you gotta be willing to evolve and change things. You gotta be open. I just saw SZA. She did like a little interview with a kid or something, and they asked her something about success, and she was like, "I think success is about making sure that you, for one, obviously you got a goal, you got a vision, you sticking to it, and you putting the work in, but you gotta know." You got to have the open mind to try new things. You got to have an open mind to, be open to new opportunities, to make sure that if a new opportunity come around, it might not have been in your initial plan. It might not even be something you thought you was interested in, but you got to be open enough to go ahead and go through with that. You got to be open to say, yo, I'm going to try this new thing. I'm going to try this out. I'm going to see where this take me. Because sometimes, a lot of the time, and I've noticed this throughout my journey, y'all know I've been pivoting a lot, with whatever content, or even me being on YouTube at all in the first place. A lot of that came from me having an open mind and being willing to actually try new things and do things that initially it wasn't even in my plan. Like, I didn't expect to be on YouTube. I didn't expect to be being on Twitch and streaming. I didn't expect to be I ain't expect none of that shit, man. I ain't expect to do any of this type stuff that I'm doing right now. All I thought was, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and drop some music, and people gonna like it, and then I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna continue to build my audience that way, just strictly through music. But I quickly learned early on that it wasn't gonna work out that way, and that I had to pivot, and I had to find more ways to go ahead and use more of my advantages and things that I'm great at, and just go ahead and use those and lean into those fully. And through that, I've been able to find things that's leading me to certain things and certain successes, certain accomplishments in my journey and in my career that I would have never reached if I ain't had that open mind, and I was just so hard-headed and just thinking like, yo, this is exactly how it's gonna be. I always talk about it, man. You're not gonna have everything figured out before you start. You damn shit not gonna have everything figured out when you first start, because you're not even gonna know the whole business. You're not gonna know any of that. You ain't gonna know nothing. Even if you watched a whole bunch of videos, until you jump in, you're not gonna know anything, because how. Part of the education process is obviously learning from others, but one of the biggest parts is experience, things that you had to learn and encounter yourself and go through yourself and actually grow from those and make mistakes and continue to grow every single day and elevate every single day. And that's what I've learned that's going to help everybody continue to build and grow faster than anybody else. So That's the way this shit is, man. You gotta be willing to evolve. You gotta be willing to have an open mind and be like, yo, anything that comes my way. Some things, of course, you're gonna have to say no to, but you can't just say no just because it wasn't in your initial plan on becoming successful. You gotta actually give things thought and say no, because if you say no, it's because you know that it just doesn't align with your values at all. But if it does align, or maybe it wasn't even nothing on your mind, like I said 1,000 times in this live, a lot of the things I've done, I had no idea I would be doing at all. You know what I'm saying? And starting YouTube. Y'all know I started making YouTube videos last year. And if I didn't have that open mind, so many blessings came in from me doing YouTube. And it's changed my life, changed my career in so many ways in a positive way, that imagine if I never started doing this. If I never started doing this, I don't even know all the things I would have missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to really be willing to put in that work and willing to actually have an open mind. Whenever you get into it, you got to lock in and say, yo, I'm going to give this shit all my all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I just started with Twitch. And with Twitch, I've been streaming every single day. So I've been putting that work in. Not only just saying, okay, I'm a start, but actually putting that work in and actually getting better every single day, learning how to stream, learning how to engage the audience. Y'all know over here on YouTube, I've been streaming for the longest. So I've been able to learn how to, you know, engage with the audience and how to actually entertain the audience, even when people ain't chatting. I always talk about it when you start any journey, nobody's going to know you. Nobody going to tap in. Nobody going to watch. You're going to have 1, 2 viewers in there like we got right now. We got 2 viewers in here right now. You know what I'm saying? That's how this shit go. And then you got to learn how can I entertain? How can I draw people to comment? How can I do all these types of things? And as an artist, that's a big thing as well, because you're going to have to control a crowd. You're going to have to, you know, when you on stage, people ain't going to know you. When you first starting out, they not going to know who you are. So they just going to be looking at you. You got to find ways to get creative and actually trigger something and some type of reaction from each person in the crowd. And that's an art. And that's a skill. Yo, Luxury Intent, what's good with you, Brody? My guy Luxury been showing hella love to the videos, man. I appreciate you pulling up to the live, man. What's going on with y'all? Let me know where y'all watching from, man. Like I said, man, look, if y'all ever got any insight from the channel, any insight from all the lives, any new knowledge and all that type of stuff, man, look, y'all can go ahead and grab one of those super chat, super stickers. And, you know, you can support the stream, support me as a creator. And also, if y'all watching this in the replay, you ain't catch me live, you can go ahead and give super thanks as well if that's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? If you ever got some knowledge, you got some value from anything I said to you, any of that, you know what I'm saying? You can support the stream. But make sure y'all go ahead and drop a like on this stream as well, man. If y'all just tuning in, make sure y'all go ahead and hit like, because that's going to help the live and the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? Y'all see I just cut my hair and everything. I'm probably going to just grow it right back, man. Everybody that been tuned in, y'all know I had the curly shit. I'm about to bring it right back, but it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to try something different. No doubt, bro. I admire your hustle from South Florida. Hey, man, I appreciate you tapping in, bro. And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the thing is, like, this is what I always talk about, man. It's about impact, man. How can I impact other people? How can I share my experience and my knowledge? You know what I'm saying? We all continuously learning. You know what I'm saying? None of us know everything. So it's just about how can I share my experiences and my knowledge, good or bad, in the music industry or just in my life in general. Y'all know, as an entrepreneur, I'll be doing a lot of things. I wear a bunch of different hats. So it's cool to go ahead and obviously use clips from people that's been in the game for a while and go ahead and share my whole knowledge and my insight on the back end. And then y'all could go ahead and take something from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad y'all do. So, you know what I'm saying? And I like to stay consistent. Like I said, when you're doing it for impact, you want to make sure you show up every single day. I always talk about it. When you on the grind and you coming up, you really got to you got to know what your goals are, and you got to be like, yo, I'm going to keep on working to get those goals. Like, whatever your vision is, you got to really see it as if it's really happening. You got to act as if you already have it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you on and you got a bunch of followers and everything, you know people looking forward to these videos. You know that, you know, if you miss a day, man, you could be really hurting somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Mariah, I made it after refreshing the app 10 times. See, look, man, I don't know what's up with these platforms, man, but they be home when it come to giving notifications and all that. And the subscription box be crazy. That's why you probably just got to go to the channel. I don't know what's up. It's weird though, cause see, like, I don't know, man. That shit nuts. It's like I don't get it. My man's was just telling me about how he added like he liked a bunch of my songs into on Spotify, so it put it all into a liked songs playlist. Y'all know how that go. And he was like, it kept like, cause he be live streaming on Twitch, and he said it kept on playing like other songs, like mainstream shit instead of my shit. And he was like, he wondered why that was. And it's weird because of course my initial thought was, okay, it's the algorithm that they want to play people that a lot of people have already shown interest in. But then it's weird because it's in his liked video, it's in his liked songs. So if it's in his liked songs, he as a person has already decided he likes that song. So why would y'all not play that? Yeah, Spotify be doing that BS. Exactly. When it comes to your liked songs, this is your private playlist. This is something that you personally made yourself from scratch. So it should be tailored to you. So every song in there should have an equal opportunity to be played. But maybe it could go off of, it also could go off of what he initially started the playlist on. You know, you can just go right in there and go to shuffle, but some people you can actually go and click the song that you wanted to hear first. So it could be something like that as well. But it's weird, man. Y'all know how these algorithms is. But it's all smart. You know what I'm saying? It's set up that way for a reason. It's very smart. Hey, man, as y'all coming into the live, man, make sure y'all go ahead and hit the like on the live. Make sure y'all share with anybody else that need this knowledge. Y'all get y'all questions in, man. Like I said, I'm talking about why you gotta, what's it called? What the fuck was the title? You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta respect the journey to success. Make sure y'all get y'all questions in there. I was talking about, I'm gonna start the conversation all over again a little bit. We getting a couple people coming in. But, yeah, you gotta respect the journey, man, because for one, like I said, you're not going to understand and you're not going to know everything from day one or the days before you even get started. The only way to really learn is from actually getting in the field and actually making it, like actually working and trying to build and get some skin in the game. That's the only way you're going to grow. Like, yeah, you can get all the book smart, all the knowledge that you can, but until you actually step foot in the ring, you ain't going to learn nothing. Trusting the process is key. That's a fact. You got to respect you got to trust the process. And that goes hand in hand with the thing I talked about earlier. I saw a video of SZA was talking to a little girl in an interview, and she asked her something about success, and she was just saying, like, she thinks success, and the reason why she's been able to see so much success, and the way a lot of people see success, is by obviously knowing what you want and working towards that, but also having the willingness to actually pivot and to try things that you ain't even have, even imagine doing. Like I said, man, so many things changed for me for the better and helped me, and I grew so much and gained so much just from YouTube, you know what I'm saying, and Twitch, and posting on Instagram and TikTok, a bunch of content. People, yeah, you can't fail until you quit. That's a fact. All this, none of this would have happened if I ain't had a willingness to try something new and do something that most people ain't doing. Like, a lot of artists is not doing YouTube. A lot of artists and entrepreneurs is not doing YouTube. They're not making no type of content on any social media. They just following things that they see has been done, especially as artists. They following like record label signed artists where they're doing the same things, and it's just not going to work. A lot of record label signed artists are not present on social media. They don't post anything on social media to where, you know what I'm saying, if you follow their model, it won't work for you. If you want to stay independent, that's not going to work. It's not going to cut it. You need to go ahead and build an audience for doing things that most people not going to do, for one, but actually showing your personality. We see YouTubers that just make funny content, and then they make a song. Like, they make funny content showing their personality and everything, build a big-ass audience, and when they build that big-ass audience, they make one song and they go platinum. Multiple times platinum. Why you think that is because they built an audience of people who fuck with them as a person. They trust them, you know what I'm saying? They, and it's just a fun vibe, and that's what they do, and they support, and they gonna support them for everything they do. Why you think people are scared to follow through with what they want to do in life? Now, a lot of people scared to do what they want in life. For one, it starts with the parents. Obviously, our parents, everybody who's in this generation, our generation, for the most part, that's especially our age. You know what I'm saying? If you in our group, our generation, like I said, your parents are still coming from that era where school, all that type of stuff was very prevalent. You know what I'm saying? So that was like the way to go. So now a lot of people that's our age, and now we becoming adults, right? So now you're starting to see a lot of people going through that school program and doing all of that stuff and following what their parents say, because they don't have any parents that really was in this era, and like, you know, coming up in this era and knowing that this is a new way and that you can really make something happen from being on social media. That's one. So most people scared. They don't want to disappoint their parents, you know. That's one. And you know, obviously that comes with throwing down generational curses, you know, telling people things that really ain't good, but you tell your kids that because it was what was taught to you, or and it's what you had to do, and it was your experience in life. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you feel like you made some mistakes. You try to force that on your kids. You know, another thing is just, man, it's scary. It's honestly scary to actually do something that, you know, for most people, most of us don't know anybody who's done this and actually became successful. As entrepreneurs, most of us, we don't have that. So it's scary. How can you do that? Like, how many people do you know? Like, not only do you know, but how many people do you know that know somebody that done any of this and became successful on any type of level? You know what I'm saying? Nobody, right? So all you have is your vision. It's your vision, and you have this vision in your head, and you want to accomplish this thing because you was inspired by somebody, you was motivated by somebody, you seen something and you wanted that, and you was like, yo, I gotta have this, but nobody's done it, and everybody else is telling you, no, it's not gonna work. Why? You know, it's scary. That shit's scary as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when you going through the process, like, I could tell y'all, I'll be scared sometimes. Not that I fail, but maybe things won't go a certain way that I expected them to. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, like I said, when you strong to the vision, you stick to it, you like, yo, this shit gotta happen, because I know I'm not gonna stop. It's gotta happen. You know what I'm saying? And being able to look at other people, not just people that you know, but look at people who actually found success within these fields. You know what I'm saying? And taking inspiration and motivation from those, and education from those situations and those people. You know what I'm saying? People really scared to take this route for real. It requires a lot of self-reflection, self-accountability. Gonna be a lot of lonely nights because this journey not for the weak-hearted. That's a fact, luxury. Real shit. Like, it's really not, man. Like I said, you gonna have, listen, when you starting off, all you have is your vision saying, like, I want this. And you putting in all the work. Nobody's watching. Like, you don't have that many people watching. You don't have that many people watching your videos. You're not making any money from it. But you know that if you go work your 9 to 5 for 8 hours, 40 hours a week, you know you got a check waiting for you that Friday. You know what I'm saying? But with this shit, it's not like that. And you put in way more time. So it's easier to say, damn, you've been doing all this, and it still ain't get you to where you wanted to be. You've been putting in 150% of your effort every single day for 5 years straight, and it still ain't really, you seen some growth, of course, but you ain't seen the type of growth that you really want and what's in your head and the vision you had. And we all have visions, we have dreams. That shit, it's not, we didn't, you know, in that dream, it didn't say, hey man, this is going to take 5 years to happen. You know what I'm saying? It was, this is what I want. It was, you was doing something and you said, I want that. And you went and started working for it. You know what I'm saying? That's for one. Self-reflection and self-accountability, that's a fact, and that's perfectly put, because you're going to have to look at yourself and you're going to have to understand what you lacking in. You got to be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to evaluate yourself, understand the efforts that you putting in. I'm going to talk to y'all just now about this. I just got monetized on YouTube today or yesterday, something like that. And, you know, y'all know the requirements to get monetized on YouTube is 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours on long form videos. Now, I talked about this before. If you focused on strictly long form videos, getting those 4,000 watch hours, you know, it's not going to be as hard, because obviously that's the videos that count towards the eligibility to become a YouTube partner. Now, if at that time I was mainly throughout the course of my channel, y'all see we just hit 34,000 subscribers. Throughout a lot of the course of my channel, I've been really focusing on short form content, posting YouTube shorts, because they're very beneficial. They drive a lot of traffic to your channel, you know, and it's really great for awareness of your brand and all types of stuff. And so those watch hours weren't counting towards my watch hours. So then I was like, yo, I got to go ahead and get this monetization thing handled. I got to get that knocked out. I got to get those 4,000 watch hours. I already had 1,000 subscribers. But I was like, okay, I got to shift it over to long form videos. So I started making that shift. But I see that I was like, okay, I started making that shift. When I made that shift, I still wasn't posting long form enough. And now y'all see at this point, we posted a long form video every single day, probably for like 3-4 months straight. A long form video every single day. Now y'all know I was posting shorts, like 3-4 shorts every single day for months straight as well. But I literally had to look at myself and I had to say, yo, I'm like, before I started posting long forms every day, I said, man, I want to get monetized, bro. I really want that shit. What the fuck is going on? It was pissing me off. But I was like, bro, I had to tell myself, bro, you're not working hard enough. I had to tell myself I'm not working hard enough. I wasn't working hard enough. And I still, for a second, still wasn't making that shift. It still didn't click. But I wanted that shit so bad. And I was like, bro, I got to work harder. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you're not being self-accountable, you're not being self-aware, you just going to continue. Like I said, we got a lot of confidence in ourselves. We see only the good in ourselves. So we don't like to tell ourselves certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't like to tell ourselves that. We only like to tell ourselves good things and motivational things and positive things. That's a fact, bro. Real talk. Having a fear of doing something for so long and not seeing the results you want. That's a fact, man. That shit is scary, man. It'll drain you. Sometimes you'll look back, man, like, and you'll be like, bro. But you got to big up yourself as well, man. Like I was saying, man, I've been doing this shit. Like, I just started music 4 years ago. But before that, I started a content journey for like, I've been doing content on social media. I've done different, niches and, different fields and different focuses and everything. But I've been doing social media for like 8 years. But I had to look back at myself. And of course, that could be discouraging, right? And, I had to look back at myself and I had to tell myself, man, 8 years. But I literally never had a moment where I sat down and I said, this ain't going to work. And, I'm done. Like, I never had that moment. I always had, every fucking day, I got videos from like years ago, every day of me just saying, yeah, this shit finna work. Going into every new year, we about to run it up. Time to keep putting that work in. Let's run it up. You know what I'm saying? Like having those resolutions of constantly working. You know what I'm saying? That's like constantly doing everything that you need to do other than some, weirdo shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But doing everything I got to do, focusing on everything I need to do and get done, and being consistent and disciplined to make that shit happen every single day. That's been my resolutions for years. You know what I'm saying? And every day at the end of the year, I always tell myself, we're going to run it up. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? And just treating the new year as just another day and just continue to elevate. But also looking at it as that magic that, everybody looks at the shit as. You know what I'm saying? Being like, all right, it's a fresh start. It's time to, 34K, let's get to 100K next. Let's get it. That's a fact. That's what I'm saying. I can't wait to hit 100K. I can't wait to hit 100K. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. 64,000 away from 100K. We going or 66,000 actually. 66,000 away from 100K, man. We gonna get there. We gonna get there this year. You know what I'm saying? We gonna run this shit up. You know what I'm saying? And never being able to look at it and be like, I'm done. And and that's a big, that's big. You know what I'm saying? That's motivation. That's inspirational to yourself. To be able to tell yourself, bro, I literally never sat there and said I'm done. I never took a break. I never did none of that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I'm going harder than I ever been in my life. You know what I'm saying? He's been going crazy. That's a fact. All right? You trying to keep up with the long form? Hell yeah, man. It's tough. It's tough, man. But the consistency, man, that shit never fails. Facts, nothing comes overnight. It don't, man. It don't. And that's why I said I put in so much work to all this shit, and I continue to put in so much work with my music career. Y'all know I was posting a song every single week for a long ass time. And I'm going to get back on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just work. That's why I said, like, people that hate on people that's successful, I said, bro, I've been working so fucking hard for a long time to a point where I can do nothing but respect people that's actually successful, because I'm like, bro, if you working as hard as me, nigga, if you working as hard as me or harder, bro, like, I can't do nothing but respect that shit, because I know how much I do every single day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I always call myself a maniac. So you can only respect other maniacs in this shit. In the fast food era, people forget that. Yeah, in this fast food era, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Everything got to come overnight or they done with it. But that's only because there's so many new trends, so many people continuously, people dropping videos and TikToks about trends and new things to make money. And then so people will see that. They don't know that those people been doing that shit for years, but now they making the content about it. So they get into it and they don't do what the video said it was going to do. You know what I'm saying? So then they quit, and then they switching, because there's so many hustles on the internet right now. What you like creating more of these YouTube content videos or your music? Man, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy because when I started YouTube, I was always saying, listen, music for a fact is always going to be a form of expression. It's the purest form of expression that I'm going to get. Of course, I'm great at expressing myself through words and just in conversation, but music is just one of those things where you literally can feel free and you can just close your eyes and you can just make that music. You know what I'm saying? And you can talk about things that maybe, like I said, I'm a very self-aware person, but sometimes I make music, and in the moment when I'm making that music, I don't really know where the words is exactly coming from, but then sometimes then I look back and I listen to the song and I'm like, damn, I know exactly why I said that, because this was going on at that time in my life. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what I mean by it's a very pure form of expression. And that's why music can't be one of those things that is where, you know, you looking for validation and you only looking to make money from. Because if you're looking to make money from it and you looking to make validation or get validation from it, you only gonna make music that you feel will get that response. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be true to yourself, which is the whole reason behind, what's the reason for making music in the first place. But like I said, with that being said, I always was the type of guy, like my friend groups in real life, like people would come to me, they would talk to me about things, they would ask me for some type of advice or input on anything in life. And I've always been the type of guy who loved to even offer that even when it's not being asked, even when it's not being asked for. I've always been quick to go straight into, okay, well, what can we do to resolve this problem? What can we do to, what advice can I get this person to maybe get through that thing that they're going through? What can I tell this person, anything like that. I've always felt like I've been great at leaving a mark on people in any conversation that I have, to a point where they gonna want to have another conversation. And I love talking. So then when I made this content, it was very fulfilling to me, being able to, you know, I always love sharing knowledge as well. I love the reason why I love sharing knowledge. Maybe it came from a selfish place or a self-absorbed place. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be totally honest. Um, I'm gonna be honest. I loved being knowledgeable in a certain subject so much that I would love to show people that I'm knowledgeable in that certain subject. You know what I'm saying? So that was great for me, for sure. So I would really say, man, and I would say, man, they pretty much equally fulfilling, man. I love to talk through conversation. I love to hear people out. I love to have these conversations and understand that when you have these conversations, I might have my opinion, I might have my outlook on something. Somebody else might not agree with it. They might have their own view or you know, their understanding on that subject, or the way they view that subject, or their belief on that subject. And me being able to understand that, okay, every conversation doesn't have to have a right or wrong side. You know what I'm saying? Like, it literally, a conversation can be a conversation where we just share our points of views. Sometimes our points of views will align and we'll come to a common agreement, and then sometimes it won't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes somebody will have a certain view on something, and then I have a certain view on something, and then maybe they'll get me to understand their view to where now I'm like, damn, that's a great way of looking at it, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So that's the great part about conversation. That's the great part about making content. I've been able to learn a lot through making content, because certain times I have views and I'm like, damn, that is kind of crazy that I was thinking that, because somebody else said something in the conversation and they had the maturity level to understand that they ain't got to come straight at it and say, man, you're wrong, like every conversation ain't got to be combative like that. You know what I'm saying? We can have a general conversation, a genuine conversation, and we can just share our beliefs on the subject. I would say they equally fulfilling. One of the things with the content I loved making the content was, obviously, content. There's a lot of money in content. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I've been able to generate another source of income, you know, create another source of income, to the point where the music doesn't have to be like, man, I need to make a hit because I need to make music, I need to make money from this music. So it's helped my music become even more pure. And I've noticed that through my music, the fact that, like, when I listen back now, I'm talking about things that's real genuine to my life. It's none of that fake shit. I'm not trying to make hits. I'm not talking about the things that I feel like, you know, is the things that need to be talked about in order to reach the masses and actually get a hit. You know what I'm saying? It's just straight up, you know, expression. And that's why I talk about like building your audience through people that know you, and getting people to know you, know your personality and enjoy you and understand you as a person and like you as a person. Through that, you'll be able to build an audience and build a fan base of people that'll listen to your music. And because if y'all come in here and y'all listening to me talk, y'all asking me questions, y'all having conversations with me, y'all support me as a creator, as a person, me talking, that means y'all share some type of common interest with me. Y'all have certain common views. Y'all have common views just like me, right? So y'all, it's only right that y'all gonna fuck with the music just because of that. So, you got to look at that. And that's why I always tell artists, man, get on this content game. And people don't understand how powerful it is. But that's a great question, Luxury. I appreciate you for asking that. Real talk. How do you control the urge to go ghost on social media? See, it's crazy because obviously, for one thing, if you got a vision and you got something you want to accomplish, you know that you can't go ghost on social media. You got to be there. But like we always talk about burnout. Burnout is something that we all gonna feel at any point. You know what I'm saying? Like we all gonna feel burnout at some point. And those points is gonna make us feel like I don't want to do anything. I don't want to film. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to leave my house. I don't want to post on social media. Even if you got content ready, you don't want to post on social media. All these are real human emotions that we all gonna feel at some point. Some people more often than others. And, but you got to be honest and you got to understand that those is a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? But, and that will make you want to go ghost. And sometimes for your mental health, you feel like, damn, I need to go ghost. One of the things is, man, look, rather you can take a little bit of time off. That's one of the things about social media is that, or being an ambitious person, is that you feel like you want to take time off, but you know that you have that vision, so it's kind of like you kind of fight yourself and you say, damn, I can't take that time off because I really want to accomplish what I'm here to accomplish. But either that, or maybe you could just go ahead and post your content and then you get off social media right after that and you don't talk to nobody on social media. You don't engage in anything on social media. You don't consume no content on social media. You just stay off of it. You post your videos and you just go about your day. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm really good at that. I post my content and I go on about my day. If I do watch YouTube videos, it's to learn something that I'm doing in my day. You know what I'm saying? Or something that I know I'm going to do, something that I'm interested in. That's the type of content that I'm watching. Not the drama shit and the shit that's not going to gain me anything. You know what I'm saying? Just the gossip, nah. Because we know it's two sides to social media. You got the creator side and you got the consumer side. You know what I'm saying? You can be a creator and a consumer. Everybody is pretty much, because you got to consume something to learn something in order to actually be a successful creator. If we being honest, you got to consume something. You got to take some type of inspiration and knowledge from somewhere. And of course, through experience as well, but also through others' experiences. But, you can really be a creator and limit your consumption as much as possible. And then obviously there's people who strictly consumers. You know what I'm saying? So now you gotta be able to draw the line between the two. It's definitely important to watch things you can learn from. That's a fact. We all gotta learn and the fact that we have the internet and social media to go ahead and learn anything we want at any moment, that's powerful. You gotta use that to your advantage. How you feel about the state of hip hop? It depends on what if you asking about sound and things like that. For me personally, I don't really pay too much mind to that. Like when it comes to the state of hip hop and the ways people talk about it, like they talk about, a lot of things sound the same. To me, man, I think a lot of the time as an artist, of course, you focus on yourself a lot. Like I focus on myself a lot. I listen to my music a lot. And I always just look at it like, man, anything somebody doing, man, that's them. That's their, that's their view on it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way they want to go about doing things. You know what I'm saying? I can't really speak on that. But if we talk about from the business side of the state of hip hop, yeah, the musical form. Yeah, exactly. So, if everybody, however people express themselves, rather people believe that's the same, it sounds the same as somebody else, or is very similar to somebody else, you know, that's on them, man. I can't really speak on that. But you know, in terms of my outlook and my experiences, man, I'm just enjoying it, man. I'm just enjoying that freedom to just go ahead and create what I want every time I go ahead and get in the studio and I create music. Y'all know I got the studio right here. I keep it, you know, it's in my crib. So I'm always in here. I'm able to get in the studio as much as I want, whenever I want, for free. Because I bought the shit, I invested. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, you know. It depends on what you're looking to get out of music. I think it's crazy, man, because it's crazy. My consumption in terms of listening to other artists is not that I don't really have that much consumption when it comes to listening to other artists since I started making music. Of course, I listen every now and then, but for the most part, man, it's like I create my music. I'm in the studio, so maybe I'm mixing my song and then I go listen to it in the car. So I'm constantly just making music and just listening to, you know, my own in a sense. But you know, hip hop always gonna evolve, man. Whatever it is right now, your opinion on it. What's your view on the hip hop? How you feel about the state of hip hop right now? I think that's a question for you, man, and I'd love to hear the answer. But yeah, man, you know. I said it in the beginning of this live as well, man. I've been streaming live on twitch.tv. My name is Timeless Rock on there. You know, it's been fun, man. We're going to get on there right after this. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow me up over there as well if y'all interested in that. We be playing 2K. We be talking on there. We be, you know, I'm about to get on Call of Duty tonight on stream. We about to react to some videos, all types of good stuff. So make sure y'all go ahead and follow me up over there and all that, man. You know, we're going to keep going crazy. Everybody that's in the stream, man, if you ever got any type of insight or education or knowledge from me, man, make sure you go ahead and, you know, give via super chat, super thanks, or super chat, super stickers. And if you're watching a replay of this stream, go ahead and give via super thanks, and you know, support the stream, man. You know, and then also subscribe if you ain't subscribed already. Make sure y'all go ahead and hit like on this live so it can help YouTube understand that it's good content and that more people need to go ahead and see it so they can go ahead and share it and, you know, feed it to more people. It could be better. We got a lot of artists experimenting on different things, so that's dope. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the thing about hip-hop, especially when you want to consume hip-hop and listen to other people. It's about, you got to have that open mind, man. Everything evolves. Y'all see about what's going on with the NBA. Like, and anything that we do, anything we do in life is going to evolve. More people are going to do different things. You know, the game is going to evolve. People learn from the last people, like the people that do it before us, and then they elevate it. We elevate, and we keep getting better. We learn from whoever did it before. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, older people that's been in the game that we learned from previously, they hate on it that it changed, but it's like, what do you expect the game to do? Everything changes. A lot of the time, things evolve forward, but then sometimes it'll find a way to go back to an older way of doing things, but then elevate in the same, you know, it'll elevate as well at the same time. I think everything is about having an open mind and just understanding that the times is the times. You know, there's good things to be said about today's hip hop, and there's good things to be said about yesterday's hip hop, and there's bad things to be said about today's hip hop, and there's bad things to be said about yesterday's hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works with everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a fact. Everything can't stay the same. Somebody got to push the envelope. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why music started in the first place. Somebody said, or hip hop started in the first place. Somebody said, let me do this. Let me try this out. And I'm sure people was hating on that. You know, people was into jazz and everything. And then hip hop comes along. They like, this not music. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how it is. And the same people that was getting hated on for rapping by the older generations, people that was like in jazz and all that type of stuff, saying this wasn't music, they had to take those gut punches. They're the same people today saying this not music. So, you know what I'm saying? Got to get with the times to get left back. Exactly, man. That's why you got to continuously evolve. Like, of course, if you had an audience back then, you had a fan base back then, and you stay the same, that audience is always gonna love and respect you. But if you want to gain a new audience, you gotta evolve. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay the same ever in anything you do. You know? That's how this shit works. Everything changes, man. If it didn't, it would get boring. How many times you gotta see the same shit? As an independent artist, what's the biggest obstacle you face? I always talk about it, man, as an independent artist, of course. I think with the, as I've grown, I think I used to say, like, you got to be up for the challenge and you got to continue to go, and obviously being heard by new people. But I think one of the biggest things now is that the education for people, the way people view the music business and the music industry, it's tough, because a lot of people think that if you independent, it's just this natural thing of like you fall off and you automatically not gonna be as big as somebody who signed, and people don't really understand that whole game. Like, they think that when you sign to a label, for the majority of the time they're constantly they're marketing you through ads, all this type of stuff. So you're constantly in people's face. So people think that when you're an independent artist and you're not constantly being thrown in their face, which is being paid for, they think that you're not big. You know what I'm saying? When it ain't like that at all. And we always talk about narratives. Narratives is once somebody formed this type of thought or belief on you, or this narrative that they pushing, that's what the masses decide to go with. So if you're not constantly being pushed in somebody's face, even if you make great music, they feel like, well, why the hell would I listen to that? You're not on fucking Billboard. You're not on this. You know what I'm saying? So I would think that's another thing as well. But I always talk about it, man. Everything a record label can do, as an independent artist, we can do the same exact thing. Of course, record labels got the cash and they can go way harder. You're not going to outspend the record label when it comes to investing in marketing, paid marketing. You're not. You know what I'm saying? They got all the money in the world. And they own all the fucking, they own all the publications. Every outlet that you can think of, they own. Or they own a big part of it. You know what I'm saying? So they run it. And I was talking about this the other day. Because it's tough. Because even if you have the knowledge, right? You have the knowledge on a certain thing, right? And okay, I know exactly what I need to do. You got the cash. You're like, I know exactly what I need to do. I need to talk to this person so I can get played on radio. And I need to talk to this person so I can go ahead and get on this magazine cover. I need to talk to this person so I can go ahead and get my video played here. All that type of stuff. Yo, Paul, what's good, bro? But one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't talk about is that if a label is heavily invested in something or some type of outlet, or they own that outlet, let's talk about if they own the outlet. If the record label owns the outlet and they sign these music artists to their label, right? Say if they own a radio station, right? They know that if they play their artist's song, let's just talk about this. They know whoever gets played on that radio all day, their song is going to go platinum, and it's going to generate so much money. It's going to generate a lot of money. Say if it generates $1 million, right? Why the hell would you give somebody and they own these catalogs of these people, meaning that if they go ahead and they play their artist that they signed to their label on that radio station, they know that they're going to generate that $1 million that they generate, whatever it is. It's just a number we throwing out there. They know that they're getting majority of that, if not all of it. You know what I'm saying? Why would they play somebody who they don't get anything from? What would they get out of that? Even if I pay them some money to go ahead and be played on that radio station, why would they play it? Why would they play somebody's shit that they're not getting a piece of when they could play somebody's shit that they own? You know what I'm saying? Why would they do that? It just don't make business sense. It don't make sense at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always talk about ownership. And it's like, bro, when you own something, you got to understand how powerful that is, man. And it's just not about being smart. It's got a lot more to do with other things than that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things at play, man. These big facts. People don't realize how much a label make artists look bigger than they actually are. Exactly. And that's why you see when they go on tour and they try to do these arenas and shit, they try to do these shows at these big ass venues, they can't sell hard tickets because they've been portrayed as this huge artist because they constantly in people's face on social media, and their numbers look amazing when they drop their album, but then they go and they tour and they can't sell no tickets. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have a real fan base. Like, I can inflate numbers all the time, and I can have this song playing everywhere, all I want, and they gonna hear it. But would they really want to go check out your show? Would they really want to buy your merch? I talk about merch all the time. You know what I'm saying? Would they want to buy that? From DJ Eric Post to Shade Room Post, etc. That's a fact. Exactly. They pay people to talk about people. Artists is getting paid to go ahead and put the arm around somebody and say, yes, sir, this is my brother. Said this artist they put the arm around can be, be portrayed as this guy who made it. You know what I'm saying? But I think the world is becoming more woke to this shit. Like, they starting to understand how the game goes a little bit more. Still not all the way, and they probably will never get it all the way. But, and that's the thing too, as an independent artist, that's another thing. I think it's this perception and it's this view that independent artists are bitter or something. And I've actually talked about being an independent artist before, and people commented and saying, oh yeah, because you ain't have an option. So they think that you don't have an option. So then they think that you're just bitter because you can't go ahead and join them. So that's another thing about being an independent artist. When you know the game, when you know something and you're like, I refuse to be fucked, they think you just bitter, or the opportunity just hasn't presented itself, so you're mad about that. When that's not the case at all. But when niggas is not educated, that's how it works. You gotta take all the arrows. You gotta be willing to stand on what you believe in. You gotta be willing to continue to grow and work hard every single day. That's the game, man. Most people want to make it independent. Exactly, because most people don't have a work ethic. Most people delusional, and they following the people who are signed, so they believe that certain ways of making it is possible when it's probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you can because you got the hustle and drive. Exactly, luxury. Like we talked about before in the beginning of this live, being willing to do things that most people not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about positive things, not no negative shit. It's like content. I'm 90-something% sure. I could say I'm 99% sure, and I've talked about this a lot, that if you just drop music in today's era with streaming like Spotify and all this, no platform is their algorithms aren't really geared to really push you organically the way they was back a few years ago. So I'm like damn near 99% sure that if you just drop music, you don't make any content about the music or anything like that, or about yourself, your personality, or anything, I'm almost 99% sure it won't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm almost 99% sure. Like, I'm so sure that will not happen. Because I've learned so much by doing content and making content, that it's like being able to build an audience of people who fuck with you as a person, and y'all will listen to the music because you fuck with me as a person. And the music, even though you fuck with me as a person, the music ain't gonna be for everybody. That's just how everything is. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if anything is like that. Every product is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, say if I was on here and y'all fucked with me a lot, y'all love me to death, but I was selling some boots, but y'all don't like boots at all. Y'all not gonna buy the boots. Some of y'all might buy the boots because y'all like, I want to support him regardless. But some of y'all like, bro, I don't get anything from that. I'm not buying them. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it works. But, you know what I'm saying, at least y'all still fuck with me as a person, you know what I'm saying? So you can still do that. You can support me through that. Facts, you gotta get the people to connect with you as an artist. Exactly. Show people who you are. People want this mystique. The game has always been driven by this, this idea that you gotta keep some type of mystique and don't give the fans anything. Back in the old times, like the older times, people didn't have social media. Like, people always talk about Michael Jackson and his mystique, saying, "Oh, people didn't know about Mike like how they know now." So many artists give too much to the internet, give too much of themselves to the internet, or just the world in general. Who's to say Michael Jackson wouldn't be going stupid on social media? Who's to say he wouldn't be posting hella content on social media right now, or in those times if he had it? Back in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine. Come on, bro. Imagine how much content they would have probably put out. Imagine how many of those guys that we looked up to back in the day, how many of those guys would have stayed independent had they had the information that we had, had they had the tools that we had. You gotta take them work checks and invest in your craft. Most people don't want to invest either. Hell nah. Hell nah, bro. They just want to buy some other shit. See, a lot of the time they think investing in themselves is just buying the clothes and all that shit and trying to look like they made it. Nah, man, fuck that. Actually go out there and make it, man. Shit crazy, bro. It's a crazy process, man. You know? But, you know, this is what it is, man. This is the game. That's what I say, man. You know, and then also record labels. I talk about this, man. One thing I noticed, and I talked about this on live when I went live with my guy D-Rem. I talked about it, man. The women in the music game, they actually post content. If you really think about it, they actually engage with their audience more than any male artist in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to any women in the game right now, rappers, whatever, and check their story, nine times out of 10, they got some type of story posted of them showing something about themselves. More than not just flyers and their song and shit like that. Like, actually them showing themselves. You know what I'm saying? You don't see any male rappers doing that shit. Any male artists doing that. So even when I always talk about this, you can sign to a label and maybe you can capitalize. Like, it's a lot of people that's getting fucked in they contract to where they don't own anything. They don't own their music. They don't own any of that. They in these badass 360 deals to where, you know, that's horrible for them. But they getting so much marketing, you know, thrown their way. And yes, you have to recoup that money, but they getting so much marketing thrown their way that, bro, they could post so much content. Imagine if they was posting hundreds of videos on social media. I've posted hundreds of videos on social media, thousands of videos on social media. Imagine if you got all that traffic being sent your way and you posting thousands of videos on your page, showing people who you are, showing people all that shit, letting them get to know you. Them millions of followers will be people who actually love them as people. You know what I'm saying? To where now when they get out of that label situation, now they really looking at it like, bro, I really don't need this label no more. Because now I've capitalized off that opportunity. I've locked in those fans of people, you know, those fans. I've locked them in by, you know, them actually fucking with me as a person. To where you good. I'll be on the Twitch stream when you hop on there on my phone. All right, Mariah, I'll see you on Twitch. I might have asked this before, but have you ever wanted to drop a song but couldn't drop it due to clearance issues? Nah, see, and it's different, man. It's crazy because a lot of the time as an independent artist, for the most part, man, I always tell people, I think it's very ego-driven when people think that they gotta stop themselves from dropping basically because of beats or any clearance issues. Like, it's ridiculous to me. I always say, man, like, who do you think you are? I'm dropping anything. I don't care if it's clear, if it's a sample. You know, the business will be handled when the time get there. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you can't worry too much about that. Your biggest thing got to be, how can I put this content out? How can I put this music out so that as many people can possibly hear it and that I can go ahead and build me an audience? A lot of the time, people be worried too much about, oh my God, what if it blows up and then you make this much money off of it and then you get sued and now that you got to give that money away? Like, bro, even if that happened, bro, even if it happened where you had to give up all the money that you generated from that song and you'll never make another dollar from that song again, that's one song. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. I look at it like, bro, it was successful because I've now built an audience of people who check in for my music, people who want to listen to my music, people who want more from me. The audience don't give a fuck about the business. The audience don't care if you had got sued because you didn't clear a sample and now you owe them all 100% of the royalties for that song in perpetuity. They don't know. They don't care. They care about great music. So now that you've done and you've succeeded in drawing that attention and attracting an audience of people who fuck with your music, that's a success. And so for you to stop yourself from dropping that content, dropping that music, you're ego driven, you're worried about the wrong shit. You get 5 views, 5 streams on your song right now. Why are you worried about being sued? Who's gonna sue you for 5 streams, bro? Nobody. So it's like, I just drop it. That's why anybody that asks me the questions, like when they're artists, actual artists that ask me like, yo, I want to drop this song, but I'm scared that if it blows up, it's like, bro, first off, you either don't have any music out, and if you have any music out, it got 1 stream, and it was you. So what does it mean when the artist says he can't drop that song because he couldn't get the song cleared? And see, like I said, you thinking about artists who they've already amassed a certain amount of success. Like once you're in that stage where you're actually in these conversations with these people, where you can actually make the call, you can actually reach these people and actually see and actually, actually request to get a sample cleared. That's when, it becomes more than that. You know what I'm saying? If they refuse to let you drop the song, then they refuse to let you drop the song. Like I said, when you have no fan base, you can drop the song, and then later on, if they sue you and decide, hey, I want it removed, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. But when you already amassed the fan base, you go through, you make sure everything is right. You make sure the business is right. You know what I'm saying? You worry about those things. And if it can't be clear, you can't drop the song, and that's just how it works. But when you want to come up, you cannot think about that. You stopping yourself for what? Think about this. Imagine if an artist only has 1 song that he made in his entire career so far. It's his first song. He love it. You know what I'm saying? But it has a sample. Imagine he says, damn, I can't drop it because I got to clear the sample. First off, they're not going to talk to you. Who are you? How you going to get in touch with them people? You know what I'm saying? Who you going to talk to? Who you going to call? And then, even if you do, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to worry about putting that shit out. Put it out. If it blows up, people worry about the wrong shit. If it blows up and they decide to sue you and they want it removed, drop other music. You're going to drop, by the time if you grinding, by the time you get sued, you should have a lot more music out where if that song blew up, they've now trickled down into your catalog. They've listened to other music. They became a fan of you as an artist. They love your music. They love your catalog. That 1 song going is not going to hurt anybody. Like if you delete that song, they might be like, damn, that was my favorite song, man. I used to play that shit but they fuck with you as an artist. They're gonna keep listening. It's just like you go ahead, you explain, look, that shit couldn't get cleared. I had to go ahead and take it down. You know what I'm saying? I dropped that when I was on the come up. You know what I'm saying? Like people gonna be like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Like they still fuck with your music. They gonna listen. Crazy how these labels be holding back these artists by not letting them drop. And see, and that's why I said a lot of the time people don't know about things in a contract called option periods. Option periods for a certain period of time. Exactly. See, and it's funny that you said that exactly when I talked about option periods. So options and contracts is literally, these options and contracts, they literally call them option albums, I believe. And it'll be like, say they sign you for 5 albums, right? 5 options, right? Now, they sign you for those 5 option albums, and now you believe, okay, cool. It might be a fucked up deal. So you like, cool, I could just drop these 5 albums. It's a fucked up deal, but let me drop these 5 albums. I'm gonna knock them shits out. You know what I'm saying? So I can hurry up, get off this situation, and I can move on. But there's an option period. Now, they don't have to exercise that option to go ahead and allow you to start recording and releasing your album. Even if you're recording it, to allow you to release that next album, they don't have to give you a release date for a certain period of time. Now, I've read that typically that option period is 12 months, right? And y'all know artists usually drop every year, right? So 12-month period. The artists who actually popping, 12-month period. You think about it. Oh, but there's no limit to how long those option periods can take. Like, there's no limit to how long they can say, I'm not giving you a release date. Like, y'all only think about the mainstream artists. Labels have thousands of artists signed to them. You know what I'm saying? So think about how many artists are sitting there without being able to drop an album right now. Like, y'all only think strictly of Drake. You know You know what I'm saying? Like Drake, he the biggest artist in the game. He pretty much can do what the fuck he want to do. You know what I'm saying? But y'all see artists that's lower, you know, that's not doing as well. Maybe their last album didn't do as great, and now it's been a year and they still couldn't drop an album. And then they'll tell you on the internet like, "Oh, y'all, you know, I'm working on it. I'm working on it." No, bro, the album been done. It don't take that long. Exactly, luxury. Exactly. Like, bro, it does not take that long to make an album. And no, don't talk about perfection and all that, bro. That shit, come on, that shit don't exist. They didn't get a fucking release date. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't talk about option periods and album and contracts with record labels, but that's a real thing. They literally can say, "I'm not giving you a release date. I'm not gonna exercise the option of your third album, not yet." You know? So, yeah, label can do what they want, man. They give you millions of dollars. They give you millions of dollars, and you got to do what they say. Because now that they've invested millions of dollars into you, they want to give themselves the best option to go ahead and recoup that money and get a great return on their investment. That's all artists are to labels, an investment. Like I literally talked about this in a song as well. It was like, you know, I heard it was like a CEO of a label, and they literally refer to artists as its and things. I talked about it in the song Know You. Refer to us as its and things. What's going on? I seen a fucking clip of a label talking about if the music is great, we'll sign it. You know what I'm saying? We look for these things that's, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally, that shit crazy. Whenever I rap for a label, I'm going to get on the table. I feel like that will convince them to sign me even more. Think about it. That's funny, man. Alejandro, that's hilarious. Do these artists know when other artists are dropping? What do you mean? Like other art, for example, I want to drop my album, but Drake is dropping this day. I don't know. I don't know exact. I know the labels most of the time. See, especially if the artist is signed to the same label, they'll know that they're gonna drop. They gave another artist for this release date. So obviously they don't want to clash multiple artists, depending on the caliber of the artist. But they do prioritize an artist. You know what I'm saying? So they might know. But other than that, labels might communicate as well, for all we know. But other than that, maybe it's just when that artist announces when they're gonna drop. But see, that's another thing with this music industry game. Me personally, I'm never gonna give a fuck who's dropping. I don't care. I work hard to build my fan base, build my audience of people who fuck with me. I'm dropping. Whenever the fuck I say I'm dropping, I'm dropping. You'll never hear me say I'm changing my shit because this person dropping. I'll never do that. I don't care. But see, the only reason why people do that is because people be so worried about first week numbers and all that shit as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. Fuck them shits. These is the weird ass shits that people. This is the weird shit that the industry tell people matters. It don't matter. First week number. That shit don't matter, bro. That's some weird ass metric that people talked about just to try to say somebody fell off and make those little weird ass, like, you know, bring up some unnecessary drama. It's like pointless, bro. Who cares? Would you ever do a joint venture deal with a label? And it's crazy because I remember when I first started off, I imagined that I would have signed when I first started making music. And yes, of course, like, joint venture deal would be amazing if you want to sign a deal. But for me personally, man, it just doesn't make sense. Because a lot of the time, in order to go ahead and sign that joint venture deal, a great deal in your favor with a profit split and everything, you have to put in a lot of work and build an audience and actually be generating money on your own. At that point, what is the point of me going ahead, say if I sign a 50-50 joint venture deal with a label? At that point, I would literally feel like I'm literally giving 50% of my income away for nothing. And a lot of people talk about, oh, you know, they can go ahead and take your situation to the next level, or, you know, that next level, that's perception. That's fucking validation. For one. Two, they talk about, oh, you know, you can get the connections within that label. It's like, bro, all right. It depends. That's why I say it all comes down to your goals. Me personally, I'm always gonna be independent regardless. I'm never gonna sign a deal, regardless of how great the deal is, man. It's just, you know, independent is the way for me. Do you feel like it is disrespectful for Drake to drop so soon after take off passing? It was only a few days after. See, and this the thing that a lot of the, you know, the audience of music don't know. Artists and labels will try to make albums seem like it was a surprise album, like they just uploaded it right now and they just said, hey, I'm dropping the album. That album was already scheduled. You know what I'm saying? Like, they already had a date set out. Like, in order to get your shit, to make sure that your music is going to drop on all platforms at the same exact time, whenever you say, you have to upload that album at least a month in advance. You know what I'm saying? At least. And you know, with labels, and you know the way they go about things, everything has to line up in a specific way, and they want everything to go this way because they want to set themselves up for the best chances to go ahead and get a great return on their investment. So the way they go about things, they're not going to just do something like that. It has to be uploaded way in advance. And then they'll start the rollout process at a certain point. Another example, Drake stepping on A Boogie toes. Boogie announced his album 2 months before. Label letting Drake drop the same day as A Boogie is crazy. Then Boogie delays the album for another month. That's that label music industry politics shit. That's why I say I always talk about man, the music industry and the music business, they two different things. The music business is where that real shit go down. That's where the independent artists are as well. That's where people really who educate themselves on the businesses, people that's interested in the business. That's where we are. The music industry, that's like high school. Music industry is literally the shit where all the cool kids are. That's where the gossip shit going on. That's where all that shit is. The people who never grow up out of high school type shit, that's where that shit be. The people who always wanted to be cool, that's the music industry. That's why over there in the music industry is where you see all the flashing money and all that type shit. Some artists really be worried about the contract incentives if they don't get the #1 album. They lose leverage in discussions with the label. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a great point, Luxury. That's a fact. That's a great point. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? And see, and you know that. And that's a great point, man. The incentives. Like, so they talking about first week numbers. Oh, if you don't sell 100K first week, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. And then we know the label fucking control that anyway. Why the hell would I fucking sign a deal that's based on, and it has a bunch of incentives in the fucking deal, when I know the label owns every fucking damn near every outlet? Why would I go ahead and sign a deal that's structured with incentives, if I know that they literally damn near can do whatever the fuck they want? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, shit can flop if the shit, you know, certain things just don't hit. Even if they did do everything they possibly wanted to do, we always talk about narratives. Of course, the audience have a big, you know what I'm saying? They play a big role in that. But come on, man, a label can do a lot of shit to go ahead and get that, you know, do what they want, to get what they want, get the results they want. No way Boogie knew Drake was dropping an album a week before his. When did Drake announce his shit? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, who knows? And that's probably label politics. You gotta think. The way you in the uproar right now about A Boogie pushing his album back, doesn't that kind of make it seem like it's somewhat marketing as well? So that y'all could be like, that shit was gonna drop. Damn, Drake dropped this shit, now he pushed it back. That sound like marketing to me, and it sound like it's working flawlessly. Boogie and Drake on 2 different labels. Yeah, that's a fact. Hell yeah. I like what Travis Scott did with his own record label, Cactus Jack. He was signed to the other label before, right? Yeah, and a lot of the time, those labels, these independent labels that these artists own, the label, or that the artists own, the label will still own the label, their label. So they will, when the artist makes a label, creates a label, and they're signed to another label, say if they're signed to Universal, and then they create a label called ABC Records. You know what I'm saying? They create a label called ABC Records. That ABC Records is now a division of Universal, meaning they still own it. So having a label while also being signed to another label, you just created another division of the label, meaning they still own the shit. I seen a horrible artist give another artist a horrible deal. They exposed the fucking contract and it was terrible. But did the artist who now owns that label, did that guy even know? Does he even know his business? Did he even know the type contract that this man just got? You're a flop if you don't sell 100K nowadays. See, and that's exactly what I mean by the first week numbers is literally just another thing to talk about to create unnecessary drama. You get what I'm saying? Who cares? Yo, Zach, what's good, Brody? My boy Big Z in the motherfucking cut. But yeah, it's just another thing to cause unnecessary drama. And do you believe? Look, how? This is why I say, bro, you gotta educate yourself so that you can know what's really going on. Think about it. Okay, you'll flop if you don't sell 100K. Like I said, people can create narratives. Labels can create narratives. They can really report whatever number they want to report. It's as simple as that. Like somebody can sell 500K first week. If they only report and tell them, they only report 30K, that's all you know. Like it's some of these artists that, do you really believe that they selling 30K? Or do you believe they selling more? And then for some artists, do you believe that they really selling, do you think that they selling less than what it says? Because they can report more sales as well. You can't pay attention to that shit. If you really want to go viral, make a TikTok type of hook on the song, that's a good point. The game really like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Facts. That's a fact, bro. Nah, you hit that shit on the head, man. Good, my man. Straight chilling. Put out a freestyle on my Insta. All right, bet, bro. I'm going to check it out. But yeah, man, educate yourselves, man, and question things, man. Big Z, y'all know the deal. Time is right. That's a fact. But yeah, man, educate yourself, question things. And then when you educate yourselves, you able to ask the right questions. You know what I'm saying? You're able to ask the right questions, and then you'll get the information that you're looking for because you educated yourself. That's a fact. Media can really manipulate how the artists look. Like the baby right now. Exactly. Come on, bro. Like just like I talked about, a label can push an artist as much as possible. But like we talked about with selling hard tickets, for all we know, he could have been struggling to sell tickets for as long as his career been going on. But now they're going to bring that shit to the surface. And even if he wasn't struggling to sell tickets, why do you think it's something that continues to be talked about on a regular basis? Everything comes down to marketing. Marketing is one of the biggest components to every business, if not the biggest. It actually might be the biggest. Without marketing, you don't have a product. You don't have a business. I feel like we actually lucky today. It's easy to put yourself out there now compared to the 90s. LOL, back then, there was no Apple Music. People actually had to go and buy records. That's exactly what I talk about, too. I just talked about, think about Michael Jackson and them. People talk about, artists had more mystique back in the day. They was more low-key, and they wasn't really into action and shit. They was to themselves. Think about if Michael Jackson and Tupac and them shit, and if they had fucking TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Come on, bro. They would be on that shit, taking advantage. Can these labels control the artist getting the #1? Yes, because they own the Billboard chart. So of course they can go ahead and they can control somebody getting the #1. It's independent artists out there talking about right now that they numbers showed that they should have been on Billboard and didn't make Billboard. Because like I said before, they can report what the fuck they want to report. I agree, marketing is #1 for sure. Exactly. Yeah, without marketing, man, you don't have anything. It don't matter what it is. If people don't know about it, they can't buy it. They can't listen. Simple as that. Like, I could have anything sitting in my room. I could have the best thing in the world. I could have created a car that fly. I could have created a car that runs on fucking water, my nigga. And that shit could be sitting in my garage right now. But if I didn't fucking market it, nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? And therefore nobody can buy it. For example, there's artists that never had a #1 before. Exactly. And there's a reason behind that. Bro, Tupac had Instagram in his prime. Bro, it would have been mayhem. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You think Tupac wouldn't be on TikTok and Instagram going crazy talking? You know what I'm saying? Come on. You hear a lot of artists from back in the day on TikTok and all that right now saying y'all got it good. You know what I'm saying? Gilly the Kid was just talking about that. Gilly the King now. He was on his podcast talking about artists got it good. Like I said, it's still hard today. It's still a lot of work you gotta put in. But come on. If people had this shit, man. I feel like nowadays you only get $1 for 1,000 streams, but if we sold copies for our albums or singles to people to Apple Pay or Cash App, that we would all get more as an artist. Yeah, hey, Big Z Meek was just talking about that yesterday. Good point. Yeah, exactly. Hey, man, you know, that's the way the game is, though, man. You just gotta get with the times. You gotta get with the times. What you gonna do about it? You know? And it's definitely campaigns that you can put in action and put in play to go ahead and get more sales on your album. People still buy music. There just has to be incentives. You see people get they pair a t-shirt with an album. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's ways to go about doing it. But you got to get creative with it because of the fact that they're streaming. If I'm paying $10 a month and I can get all the songs and I ain't got to buy each album, I can just stream any album that come out. My fault. But yeah, I can just stream any album that come out. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Pair something with it. Probably got the best rollout I've seen. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Ryan Leslie, bro. He killed that game, man. He killed the motherfucking game with the independent shit. But you see what I mean? Like, that's what it comes down to, man. You got to get creative, get smart. Find ways to, you know what I'm saying? The audience is going to listen to you. The audience is going to do what they need to do. You know? That's just what it is. Why do these artists do big numbers on streaming platform but don't perform well on YouTube? I don't know. It just depends on where people listen to music the most. I know for me personally, I go to Spotify for music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go to YouTube for music. Of course, there's a lot of people that still listen to music on YouTube. There's a lot of factors that could play into all that shit, man. But that's a great question. Also, probably, what are you putting most of your energy into? What are you putting most of your energy to go ahead and actually, market? Where are you focusing on? Where are you really putting your content out at? What's your biggest platform? What are your marketing campaigns driven towards? What are they optimized for? What platform? You believe in streaming farms. What would that be exactly, Luxury? the biggest thing new rappers lack these days, especially in my local area, is marketing. They just upload one track every 3 months and they think it's supposed to blow up with no music videos, etc. Like, bruh. And that's how it is, man. That's how it is for most artists, man. Like, that's why, yeah, exactly. Like we just talked about, man, marketing is everything, man. They just upload one track every 3 months. And I just talked about this earlier in the stream. With this in this era of music, I'm pretty much 99% sure that, bro, if you just dropping music, it's not gonna happen. You got to give the audience more, man. We're in an era where people want to know more about you. People want to follow your journey. People want to know who you are as a person. Like, yeah, you can drop music, but, you know, going live with your audience, talking to y'all, having these conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned that going live is actually one of the best ways to actually, you know, build rapport with your audience and build, because, you know, y'all actually having conversations. Y'all asking me a question. I'm talking to y'all in real time. I'm actually, you know, we can laugh on here. We can have great conversations back and forth. We can have disagreements. We can have agreements. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the best one to go independent would be Russ. Russ is amazing in this independent game. But definitely when he came up, it was definitely a different time even in that era. He popped off he probably started right between 2014 and 2016. I think 2016 was like his biggest year that went ahead and got him. He ended up going ahead and signing to a record label. It was like, he was even in an era when he was dropping a song a week on SoundCloud. SoundCloud was a totally different ball game back then, where it was like they had algorithmic push for actually putting music out consistently. And a song a week was fucking more output, more content than anybody was putting out at that moment. So he killed the fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, it ain't really no streaming platforms that's going to give you that push organically just for dropping music. The labels done caught on. So now you gotta find ways, like other ways, to go ahead and be efficient and continue to drop a lot of content and, you know, make it happen. IDK people be talking about for real. Like they got a whole warehouse with phones dedicated to streaming certain artists' music all day. That's crazy. I mean, I've never heard of it. I mean, it could be. Who knows? Never know. Let me see. Russ already had connections, though I give him credit, but was he truly independent? I mean, Russ said he didn't have no connections, you know? Russ said he didn't have no connections. He said he put that work in. I fuck with Russ heavy. You know what I'm saying? Russ gave me a lot of game. Russ put me on to some shit that I ain't know. I fuck with Russ for sure. But you know, man, you know, everybody journey different, man. Everybody got to get it a different way. So you got to take knowledge from other people, take whatever game somebody given, see what fits for your journey and your personality and who you are, and go ahead and apply it in the best way possible for yourself. You know what I'm saying? What do you look for before dropping your next song? For me, like I said, man, it's about output, man. Putting out great music consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's all about marketing. So continuing to market myself as a person, growing my personal brand. Like I said, if you got a strong personal brand, people who fuck with you, love you as a person, they will fuck with your products, which is your music or any other products you have. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. Saying my boy, I fuck with Russ heavy. Hell yeah, Russ, you man, killing the game. And he doing numbers independently right now. So, you know, I got nothing but respect for my guy. I fuck with him heavy. But yeah, man, hey, I'm about to go ahead and hop off this YouTube thing so I can go ahead and hop on Twitch. I appreciate y'all for pulling up to the stream, man. Hey, if y'all trying to watch more, y'all trying to come in there and ask me more questions, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all go ahead and hop over to twitch.tv/TimelessRock. That way y'all can go ahead and hop in there, man, and start talking up. We can continue our conversation. I'm going to be on 2K. I'm going to be on fucking Call of Duty tonight. We can react to some videos. I know y'all was having some great questions about the music industry. So if y'all got any videos that y'all want me to react to about the music industry, you know what I'm saying? Come in the Twitch stream. We can go ahead and continue the conversation. Make sure y'all follow up over there as well. You know, we on the road to becoming a partner or affiliate over there as well. Also, man, if y'all got some knowledge from this live, or y'all got some knowledge from any live I've done or any of my content, make sure y'all go ahead and give super chat, super stickers. And if y'all watching a replay of this live, make sure y'all go ahead and give super thanks. You know what I'm saying? Support the stream, support me as a creator, you know what I'm saying, and support the community. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for continuing to pull up to the streams always. Let me see. When it comes down to an ultimatum between songs, how do you pick that right song? Whichever one I feel, man. Like I said, it's about pure expression. So whichever one hits me a certain way, whichever one I'm feeling that I feel like, yo, this really fits my, you know, at this moment. Like Going Crazy, that song, I made that a while ago, but I just felt like it fit so perfectly for me in a mental, where I was mentally at that moment. I felt like it was a great song and it fit perfectly at that moment. So I went ahead and dropped it, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't make that just now. I made it a while ago. Salute, G. Be safe. I appreciate you, man. Luxury, I appreciate you always pulling up, showing love to the stream, my videos, all that, man. I appreciate you heavy. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe as well, bro. But, hey, man, before I go ahead and get off the live, man, make sure y'all own y'all own shit. I appreciate all y'all. Keep grinding, keep growing, keep being great. I'm up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all.